Morning everyone. Fueling up the tractor this morning and we're gonna go plant some more corn. We had a bit of a rain delay yesterday. Trying to think what happened on the last video. Vac motor blew out, we got it fixed. Dad finished the field that he was in. Then we got rain that night. Almost got finished planting beans. Yesterday it was a little rainy in the morning, and then by the evening it dried off and I went out about 5 o'clock and planted 40 acres of corn. So we got a little bit done yesterday. Looks like a decent day today. There's spotty chances of showers off and on. It's just depends if you get under the wrong shower, whether you get a decent rain or you just get some sprinkles. So hoping to get some more corn in. Not really sure what I'm gonna do yet. I got a lot of different things I need to do. Want to get those beans done, want to do some spraying, and also need to get the strip till bar, try to strip till some corn stalks again. So got a lot going on. Tractor's filled up with fuel. He's got enough seed to plant a little bit, and the 28 is filled up. He went to town to get some more 28 and not starter. We got started. He'll have to top that off when he gets back and he'll be ready to go. I'm gonna take the old black truck here down to another farm and get the sprayer, bring it back here. It needs fuel, and I might spray a little bit this morning while it's not windy. That's kind of what I've been doing, just spraying when it's not windy, and then probably move on to something else. Sprayer's full of fuel. Next on the list, I gotta fix this hose. This is something I cobbled together last summer when the hose blew apart. I'm gonna take this apart and cut this hose, make it a little shorter. Got this cheap hose mender from Harbor Freight, so that'll probably blow apart immediately, but we'll at least say we tried. Alright, how long do I want it to be? Let's do about that. See if this junk pocket knife will cut the hose. There we go. Now hopefully, uh-oh, I may have messed up. This is for 5/8 and this is half. Shoot. Well, now I messed up. What do we got here? Can I do something with this? Let's see what we got. Well, plan B, I'm just going to use this hose. That's way too long for now, but we'll make it work. We gotta get the rest of our starter out of this tank because we're probably gonna need it today. Now it's kind of looking like it could rain any minute. That's no bueno. Where did I set my coffee? No idea. Found my coffee, it was right where I put it. Batteries are dead in this thing again. I don't understand that. It lasted like one day. Well, this is apparently the wrong size. What do we got here? There we go. And I threw it on the ground. That's better. All right, you little rascal. What did I do differently? I have to take these apart too? This doesn't seem the same as what I did the other day. What? I'm dumb. The batteries are in this half. Silly me. Ew. That doesn't look good in there. And now it's thundering. Well, that's nice. Ugh, yucky. Looks like this got rained on. What am I gonna do with that? Huh. Well, I cleaned it out, put new batteries in. Now it's working. See how long that lasts. Should dry this off a little bit. I think that's the problem. It got water in it. I thought this was a gasket, but apparently not. Should put a little silicone around there. That'd be fine. Load sprayed. I need to go to a field and flag out where our test plot's going to go this year. That way Dad can plant around it. We're not quite ready to plant the plot yet. Got to have some help for that. So I'm just going to put some flags so he knows where it's going. I was going to take the side-by-side, but I think I'm going to take the e-bike. First, I got to find some flags. There we go. It's a brand new bundle. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. All right, what's 16 times 6? I can't do that math in my head. 16 times 6, 96. So we're doing 16 numbers, 6 rows of each. Need 96 rows, and it's strip till, so I'll be able to just count rows and put flags, and it'll all work. All right. Here's my ride. Turn it on. I just charged it up, so should be good. Can't do this with one hand. I'm gonna crash. My kickstand won't work in the dirt, so I need to figure out where my guess row is so we don't have point rows over the top of the plot. Got that flagged out. Let me do some math real quick. 96 divided by 16 is 6. Okay. So that'll work. There won't be any point rows. He should be able to plant right up to it on that side, right up to it on this side. Sweet. Let's go back and do some more spraying. Going off-road. I forgot how fast this thing goes. It goes like almost 30 miles an hour. I got my spraying done that I wanted to get done. I'm going to go take Dad's place in the corn planter for a little bit so he can eat lunch, and then we'll see what happens from there. I think he's about done where he's at, so I'll probably move to the next field. And plugging them away. Here we go. Last pass on this field, and I'll probably run to the house, fill up with 28, and go to the next one. All right, let's go get some juice. Figured since I'm here, I might as well put some starter in too. It was getting kind of low. All right, Dad took back over in the planter. I'm out here at Grandma's. I'm gonna get the tractor out of the shed and go hook it up to the strip till bar. I had to go steal a receiver off the other tractor. I really need to be using RTK, but the RTK's on the planter tractor. So I got the 7,000 receiver. Figured that's going to be my best accuracy with SF1 compared to the 3,000 that's on there. That thing's basically useless. So switch these real quick and get this thing backed out. I'm sure some of that sounded like Greek to you guys. I don't really know about the deer guidance, but SF1, SF2, SF3, all that's different levels of accuracy for your GPS signal. And then this is a Starfire 7000 receiver. This is a 3000, so that's an older one. It might not be the latest model. I think they make a 7500, but basically the latest model. All right, here we are. Strip till bar was over at John's. He was using it this spring, and he left it out for me. So I'll just hook it up real quick. Take off the jack on this thing is junk. See how this goes. That. All right. Let's see if I can do this. All right. All right, I'm not going to be using the fertilizer tank, so I don't need any of these hoses or these connectors. I'm just making strips, so see if I got it hooked up right, get it folded up. Okay, this should be raised. fold. There it is, folding up. Well, I made it here to the farm, got it unfolded. Had to put this old ancient 2630 screen in, got that set up. I'm gonna start here at the home farm. Some of this was strip tilled last fall, but we were having some issues. I'll explain that in a minute. I gotta get an AB line set up because we don't have anything stored in here, so let's see what we can do. Scratch that, change of plans. Dad needs fertilizer, so I'm gonna bring in the truck and then we'll go do that. Bolt's loose for the wheel. I don't know how he caught that, but he did. Oh, the pump ran out of gas. He got a little bit in to keep going anyway. I'm gonna take the little GMC that could with the seed tender back and get some gas, and then bring the tender back and drop it down there in the field entrance. That way he can get to it. Truck's making a weird noise. I don't think it likes pulling that. Alright, I was gonna drop this in the field, but then I thought I'll just bring my bike and I'll ride that back. That way I don't have to unhook this and then hook it back up later. So I'm gonna fill that up with gas for him and then take off back home. It's really hard to get this in there. This is the job that I've been trying to do all day, and now it is 4:15. We're finally getting to it. Let's try again. Got my AB line set, dropped in on my first pass. Seems like it's working. This SF1 signal is not going to be ideal. Normally we run RTK with implement guidance, but we only have one of those setups. So that is on the planner right now, which is more important than this. So we'll just do the best we can, and if we have to shift the planner around a little bit, not a big deal. So that's all I got. Made one round. Let's hop out and see what these strips look like. So the idea is we want to plant right into these. We prefer to make strips in the fall just because it's easier and it seems to work for us, and that's when we have time. So we don't usually do spring strip till unless we have to. I think these are bermed up too high. So I need to make an adjustment. Looks like John's got these closing coulters set on a pretty aggressive angle. Thankfully that's not too hard to change. All you do is pop this back, slide it over, and Bob's your uncle. I think that's what that saying means. We'll try that. We might have to run them straight. We'll try this first. Kind of would be nice if these strips got a nice little ½ inch of rain or so on them before we planted it. That would just kind of settle them down a little bit, firm them up, and they'd plant nicer that way. Alright, just what I can see from the cab, that looks a lot better. Not humped up so much. In the spring you want it, or I'm sorry, in the fall you want a little bit of a berm because it settles out over the winter, but in the spring it doesn't have as much time to settle, so you don't want it up so high. Well, while I'm sitting here and the auto steer's working, I'm going to finish hooking up this radio. Dad got it installed, but we still got to hook the power up to it, so knock that out real quick. Okay, I want this on keyed power, so I think the two outside ones, we'll try that. This is black, goes there, have to come back with some zip ties later and we'll tidy this up, but this will get us some power anyway. Can I do this with one hand? Nope. Alright, let's see if we got juice. We do not have juice. Oh, yeah, you have to push the button. There we go. Welcome, channel 1. There we go. Okay, let's see if it works. Hey, Dad, you got a copy? Yeah. I just hooked this radio up in the four-wheeler. I'm seeing if it's working. Yeah. Cool. You got the channel figured out? I just turned it to channel 15. I didn't do anything with the privacy codes. Okay. I got this field done. So here at the home farm, there's 100 acres-ish, but it's cut up in 4 fields. So got this one done. I'm gonna move to the next one. This field is too wet. I'm gonna move to a different field. So this is a very interesting farm. The soil types, it's kind of a black sand, so it's like heavy but light. It's hard to describe. And the water table's really high here because the ground sits really low. So we have to pump water out when we get a lot of rain. And one of the fields in particular, we call it the north field, it stays wet like all the time unless you run that pump. So I tried to get through it and cut some ruts, and it's not going to work. So I'm going to move to the back field. The reason why we're doing this in the spring is I guess it'll be story time. So this field being sandy, I'm getting a phone call. I'll be right back. Alright, I'm back. Where was I? Anyways, this ground is mostly kind of a black sand, so it's a little bit heavier than sand when you think of sand. So it holds water a little bit better than sand, but what we do is we put corn on corn here because it doesn't really grow very great beans. It's got some high pH in spots. So what we've been doing is you chisel it in the fall, field cultivate it in the spring, plant corn, and it just seems like our corn is always not really good here because it dries out. So we wanted to try strip till corn on corn here. I tried to do some last fall, but this thing kept plugging up. I think the trash it needed to break down some. It was so thick that it kept plugging up in front, and then it would push big piles up everywhere. So I wasn't able to do it in the fall. Here we are in the spring, and it's working a lot better. Except for that north field. That sucker's always wet. It's a lot nicer back here. Fun fact, my great-grandpa won the National Corn Yield Competition for irrigated land in, I think it was the 60s or 70s, on this farm. So he used to flood irrigate, and he had a hose reel. So they would dam up these ditches, fill them up. There's a well back there, and then the tiles would keep everything watered, and then he also had a hose reel that he would water some of the corn with. So pretty cool. I think he raised like 170 something bushel corn in the 60s or 70s. It's pretty impressive. Man, that is beautiful. Just finishing up the end rows here, and then I got one pass through the middle of the field, and then I'm going to be done. Dad just pulled into the yard. He ran out of fertilizer, so I guess we're going to be done early tonight. It's 7:15, so not too bad. We had a pretty good day. Not exactly sure how many acres he got planted, but I think we're getting close to half done with corn, and we still got that little 30 acres of beans left, so we'll get that at some point. I was hoping I could strip till that north field too, but it's just still too wet, so we're going to have to figure something else out there. But that's going to do it for this video. Spring rolls on. We're just plugging away in between rains and doing what we can. So we've never been this far along this early before, so feeling pretty good. That's it. See you on the next one.